How's it going, everybody? Today, we'll be looking at some more Trollpastas, more shitpastas. So, I went to the Trollpasta wiki, put in the search term Call of Duty, see if I can get any good laughs and, some hearty kicks. And I found quite a few. There's actually a bunch of Call of Duty pastas over on the Trollpasta wiki. I picked out 4, and now we've got this video. So I hope you enjoy these Call of Duty shitpastas. It all started when I was walking in the woods with my friends when I came across a Call of Duty PC game. I picked it up and observed it. The title was Call of Duty, but it was in red and the picture was quite disturbing, since there was an explosion and some droopy stairs with shoes on each step leading down a path towards the explosion. I figured this could be Call of Duty 1 because it didn't have a name, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops, World at War, etc. But I know Call of Duty 1 picture does not look like that. When I went home, I put the game in my computer and there were 3 files: Call of Duty 6:66 Reich icon, Call of Duty 6:66 Reich setup/death, die/game.exe. I clicked on die/game.exe. Then a menu came up instantly. There were 6 options: play, die, options, what you've done, 666 rules, leave at your own risk. I clicked on play, then numbers repeatedly flashed on the screen. Then I received a phone call. I didn't look at who called me, but all I heard was Hitler's speech. I hanged up, then received a text which was from an unknown number, and it said, sex, sex, sex. That's German for 666. 666, the devil's number. I nervously looked back at the computer screen, and the numbers were still flacing. Several seconds later, the word gut popped on the screen. It was either saying gut, as in guts, or good, which is gut in German. The game started. It was a first-person shooter, just like Call of Duty 1 and the others. The character was in a room, a small room with a stuffed bear on the floor. The character had no weapons, but a knife. I stabbed the bear. Then there was a loud screeching sound, then the character got a pistol and put it to his head and then fired. The game closed with an error message saying, "Your life.exe won't end. You're lucky. I will find you soon." I was just incredibly shocked, but then I noticed I wasn't even playing Call of Duty 6:66 Reich. I just plays die/game.exe. I clicked on Call of Duty 6:66 Reich setup/death. That was the biggest mistake I have ever made in my life. The game instantly started with no menu or anything. Everything was pitch black on the screen, except from Hitler. He was slowly walking towards me from a distance. I blinked, then he was right in front of me on the screen. His face turned pale. Then that same screeching sound I heard when I stabbed the stuffed bear went off again, and the character collapsed and died. Then the screen went black. Then it went straight back to Hitler's face, pale and mouth open, screeching. I closed the lid of my laptop in horror, but then the screech got louder than ever. My ears were stinging horribly. Then I left the house. Fear overtook me as I saw every house was destroyed and Nazi flags were everywhere. I collapsed. I woke up in, I don't know, a pitch black place, just like the game. Hitler was sprinting towards me, and he was screeching, and he was only very far away, but I was paralyzed, so there was nothing I could do but suffer, as somehow my internal organs fell out one by one. As I was screaming in pain, I was looking at my organs fall out. I shouted to myself, how the hell can my friggin' guts be falling out? Arrgh! Then I squeezed my eyes closed, and I remembered that on the game, I blinked and he was right there in front of me. Oh crap. Then I opened my eyes. As you all know, I'm a huge Halo fan. This week for my birthday, my friend Larry got me a new Halo game. I decided to play it after the party. I put the cartridge into my computer and downloaded it onto my PS2 emulator. The title sequence played like normal until I saw Master Chief. He was rolling around on blood red roller skates. I shrieked, but I was able to compose myself. It told me to insert a quarter, then choose to play as Master Chief or Hatsune Miku. I chose Hatsune Miku because she was naked. I started to play. I was running around, watching her boobs jiggle, until I looked up. All I could see was darkness surrounding me. I controlled Hatsune Miku to turn on her electric torch and keep going to that door. Scrawled on the front was the number 6696. I opened the door when I started to hear Hatsune Miku crying. I was confused. I never inserted the headphone jack, and then I saw why she was crying. On the floor lay a body pillow. Not any ordinary body pillow. It was a Hatsune Miku body pillow. One that had seen a lot of shit in its day. Then the screen faded to black and wouldn't turn on. I went to take a nap. During my dream, I dreamt of Hatsune Miku's blood tears dripping onto the body pillow, making it look like a used up Hatsune Miku tampon. I then heard the opening song for Halo, playing a sweet song but upside down. I woke up in a pool of sweat. I got up and turned on the computer. Shit, it isn't turning on. So I do the old off-on, and it worked like a charm. I saw the opening sequence again and got to the save files. This time, I chose Master Chief. He was also naked. I started off tied to a chair in a dungeon. I vaguely remember not remembering this. I am put in the first perspective. The first thing I see is Glorthok. I should be known it was you. Remember, Larry? I shackled him onto the wall. I promised him infinity lives or some BS like that. Only if he gave you this disc. Larry, forget about him. All I can do is find a way out of this. I look to my left. Nothing. I look to my right and see a speck of light. This is my chance. Glorthok is in the bathroom, and he forgot to shackle me up. I tiptoe out of the room, and then I sprint towards the light. Then Glorthok finds out I'm gone and chases after me. Doesn't take long to catch up. Okay, so I just want to point out that I am a huge Call of Duty fan. I 420 no-scope kids all day. I drink Mountain Dew. I eat Doritos, and I'm in phase. But this made me poop my diaper in agony. This is my story with a very special Call of Duty game. So one day I was searching eBay for Call of Duty games when my eyes came across an interesting game. It said Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.exe on the box. Boy, was I happy to see this. The address said 666 Horniesworth Avenue. I figured, since it was only a couple of miles away from there, I was gonna get the game. When I got to the GameStop there, I walked in. The GameStop had all sorts of games lining the shelves. Looking over the shelves, I picked up some of my favorite classics, like Big Rigs, Over the Road Racing, E.T., Desert Bus, and many more. I spent a while in the store because I had all my favorite games in there. I walked up to the cashier to pay for my items. He said, "Hey, want this game? It's a 100% off deal. It's kinda free." I took the game and it said Call of Duty Advanced Gorefare. I paid for my games and I left a 1-cent tip. However, before I walked out the door, the cashier said, "Look at me." I looked at him. Suddenly, a nearby jukebox started playing Gyagus's theme from Earthbound and a demonic rap or something. The cashier's eyes melted out of his face, revealing his fleshy sockets covered in blood. He grew new eyes, but this time they were red. His bloody, bloodshot eyes were bloody and bloodshot and covered in blood. He stared right at me. I ran out the door and drove home, running over a few people in the process. I got home and I stuck one of the computer discs into my NES. It loaded up perfectly. I beat almost every game in one night, except for the COD game I got. Save the best for last, I thought. The next morning, I woke up and ran to my NES. It took exactly 74.314563 seconds to come up. My character was a female named Amanda Peterson. She was a British Coast Guard member, but she was in a field. Why was she in a field? I looked up, I looked around, and I took out a cap gun. Suddenly, a demonic puppy ran towards me. I shot my cap gun, but it did nothing. The screen cut to black. My character was in a dark room, chained to the wall by her wrist, and there were 2 demonic puppies. One of the puppies removed his face, and out came Freddy Fazbear. The other puppy turned into dust. Amanda said, "Freddy, but you were my favorite mascot. How could you? Why have me chained to the wall?" And the Freddy then placed a slimy object into my character's mouth. Since I am only 9, this scared me. I shut off the game. I threw out my NES out the window. I cried in a corner. Suddenly, a gun was put to my head and bang, my life was over. I am now a spooky ghost. I've always enjoyed playing Call of Duty. I have every game in this series, including both Modern Warfares and World at War. It was June 9th, 2010. I heard from a buddy of mine that they were releasing a new game entitled Black Ops. I was so excited over this discovery that I went to see if I could somehow get a bootleg copy of it, even though I'm not sure that they're even making a new COD. I checked out Craigslist to see if I could find anyone to grant my wish. I found a man named Bootman Bill. This Bootman Bill was actually an 18-year-old high school dropout. I contacted him through email, asking if he had a copy. He replied to my email, "I do have a copy. Come to my house on 710 East 6th Avenue." I proceeded to walk to his house the next day. He answered by opening the door slowly and greeting me by saying, "I've been waiting for you." I asked where his parents were. He replied, "The game." I gave him a look of confusion. "I'd be willing to give you this copy for no charge," he said. I was surprised. If you've spent several months trying to steal a game that isn't released, you'd expect a big price. Now, because I'm very generous, I gave the teen $80 and left his small home. I did notice a strange thing about the copy, however. Instead of saying COD:BO in permanent marker, in crudely drawn letters, it said COD:BHO. This baffled me, as I did not know what the H means. But I digress. I then proceeded to put my purple Memorex disc into my PS3. As it does with the current CODs, it shows that the Treyarch logo, and then goes to the COD title screen. I was so excited. I have the newest copy of COD that no one else in the world has, or hasn't heard of yet. I didn't feel like trying out the campaign yet, so I did my favorite mode in COD, which is zombies. It had maps, Keynote der Toten, and one I'd never seen before, Ad. I was baffled over the map's name. I would expect it to have more of a better name. I decided to play Ad. The map looked like in what seems Russia. The map seemed too big to be a normal zombie map. I ignored this, however, and played it. The weirdest thing about the zombies is that they have devil horns sticking out of the Russian ushankas they're wearing. Then, the freakiest thing happened. It seems that hands started sticking out of the ground. When I saw this, I thought that it was just a glitch. But the disc being stolen, I thought this was just a beta version of the game. The next part scared me the most. It showed my character looking down at his feet as he'd been pulled through the ground by the hands and screaming and begging for his life in what seems like Italian. After this event, I noticed something. Ad is Russian for hell. My heart is pounding as I'm falling through black, empty space. As this is happening, an eerie banjo melody is playing in the background. The Russian town map is soon replaced by a town of what seems like Hiroshima after it was struck with a nuclear bomb. Dead bodies are everywhere. Some are children's bodies and some are adults' bodies. In my head, I was thinking of how the developers could be so insensitive. I'm starting to think that this isn't a beta copy, and it's just a disc modded by a sick-minded person. In pure anger, I emailed Bootman Bill. I waited 3 days, but no response from him. I just better continue on with the game, and see what other terrible things I can find. In the Hiroshima map, the zombies were actually bodies of the deceased. Some of the corpses were so photorealistic that I had pure look of terror every minute that I was playing. In the game, hanging from the remains of what seemed to be a destroyed house, was a wooden sign that read, "Dono yo ni sore wa jigoku de zakaderu koto ga kanji raremasu ka," which translates to, "How does it feel to be in hell, Zach?" At this point, I was in tears. The game knew my name. This is not normal for a game. I was thinking that this game was not modded. It's haunted. This is real similar to Ben, the Haunted Majora's Mask cartridge. But this is far more terrorizing. It's no wonder that Bootman Bill gave me this for no price. He wanted it out of his life forever. And when he said, "the game," after his response to where I asked where his parents were, he must have meant that his parents were missing, or something far more worse, after playing it. Finally, after 4 days, Bootman Bill replied to my email, or so I thought. The email said, "Bill is not here right now. Don't even think of returning the game, if that's what you're thinking of. I took care of Bootman Bill." I was swearing in terror after I read this, thinking that Bill was murdered and the ghost that possesses the disc is the killer. I continued the game. This time, the music has changed. This time, it's a Japanese choir, singing "Ware ware wa shinde iru shikashi anata modesu" over and over again. This translates into, "We are dead, but you are too." I'm thinking that it's the victims of Hiroshima speaking to me, saying that I'm dead. At this point, I was so scared that I decided to quit playing. At this time, it's 4:30 p.m., so I have time to take a walk and forget about this. I tell my mom about this, but she would freak out if she found out I spent $80 on a bootleg copy. I'll continue playing tomorrow, and I'll tell you what I see this time. For now, goodbye. Will there ever be a part 2 of this? Most likely not. Alright, so those were the 4 Call of Duty shitpastas. I hope you enjoyed. That's all we have for today. If you want, you can go ahead and subscribe, get some more videos. Leave a like if you like it, dislike if you disliked it, and leave a comment. Tell me what you thought if you're so inclined. Have a good day.